I was creating something that's interactive. Here is an example of what it would be if you guys would, oh no, let me, okay, so here is the in the chat, I created a interactive thing. So I'll share it because we're recording. Okay, so here's the interactive thing. This is Pick the Abacus, and what we're doing is this is the interaction. I just send it to my kids, to my students, and my students will go in and they will choose whatever they want. So here it says, count the animals, pick the abacus number. So here, if you notice, this is a presentation, but you can't click anywhere outside, right? So if you click on the wrong one, it will take you say, ah, try again. So I have to go back. So there's 4 tigers. I'm going to select 4 and it says, yes, awesome. I am going to go forward and this is what we're going to create. So this is all interactive. And uh, this one, I notice I actually have to change the way the presentation is because you can actually stretch it along. Um, there's another one that I created and it's kind of the same but with the real abacus. And then my newest one that I created was this one. It's to make a friend. And it's the same thing. The problem is, if you notice, my mouse is now an arrow. And so what we're going to do is we are going to make sure that the kids cannot go forward to the next page. So if you notice, my finger is still a hand. So that means when you click on it, it doesn't go anywhere. You don't want this children to go forward. So the idea is my students are 3, 4, and 5. And um, so I don't, they can click everywhere, um, but hopefully they will get to the correct answer. Did this work? Oh yeah. So, so there's a few tips when they go to the try again. Have an arrow that says go back. So it draws their eyes to make them to go back to the question. If they selected correctly, have a button that says next to go to the next question. So those are logistics of how to create, like when you start creating this interactive game. Okay, so so that is okay. So we're gonna start with this one. uh I was and the biggest thing is trying to figure out like how to make it interactive, right? Because you guys can see my abacus plate. Okay, good. So um there's going to be a lot of exporting and importing and combining everything. Because why? Because every item, if you don't flatten the item, you actually have to go into everything that's there and you have to create a link. So if I go here, I have to create, oh no, that didn't make sense. So I would have to go here and I would have to create a link. And I don't, that's just too much. So what I would have to do is I actually have to pre-plan it and export this whole thing out. And then the only things that I want to be selectable will be the things that will be individual items. So, so I was starting a new, should I start a new one or should I do an old one? What do you think? Okay. Okay. Um, okay. I'm going to continue with my train of thought. So here I have I have my plate. I'm going to go to my and I had to pre-upload this. So ideally is you have to try to, where did it go? Ideally you have to try to like pre-plan what you're trying to do. So what I want to do is I want to have my abacus on this plate and then the kids have to find what the number is before. So to do that, I went into my I have to go. I've already downloaded my images, and these are all the images. We're doing double digits. We're going to go double digit from 10 to 20. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my number, and this is what I'm doing. Um, So I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to change it to this number. Oh, maybe I should put in a thing, but it's okay. So I'm going to do one more just to get a better sense. Okay. So then the issue is I want the whole screen to not be clickable because if you noticed, there's an arrow that changes because it's a presentation, it will go forward, and I don't want that, right? And I noticed that the problem here is because these are words, and these words will make them go forward where I don't want them to go. So I want them to go to the next question. So I actually have to I have to redo um, this game. So, and I realized, okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to export this as a whole. So this is my background. Um, so when I export it out, I'm going to export it all out. Yeah. And then I have to delete this and then import it back in. So this is my abacus plate. I'm going to, oh, I did that wrong. I'm going to upload it because I wanted to keep it as organized as possible. Because it gets crazy, like how many elements there are. So go back out and then my abacus plate, and I'm going to import these. So those are the imported ones. I'm going to delete these ones. And then I got to go back and, oops. Okay. So, so this is my background. This is something that oh, no, that's not right. Sorry. I'm going to do this. Did that work? Yeah, that worked. That, and then one more. Okay. Okay. So here, what I would do is I can't lock the background because if you lock the background, you're going to get the arrow. You need to have this background detached. Sorry. You need to have the background detached, and then this will be linkable. If that makes sense. I was trying to find different ways to make this like an easier process, but it is a little bit cumbersome, and I feel like that this is the more efficient way um, to do this. Okay, so we have this. We're gonna write, and now we have to have our try again. So we have I'm going to create, where's my, we'll do this. Um, Again, try. Okay,
Hey, Lynette, can I jump in
yeah,
for 1 second? The three
go ahead.
slides you've made so far, those are questions or those are answers?
These are questions.
Okay.
These are questions. We're going, so if it, so these are questions. Yes. Um,
And then you're going to make the you got it right or you got it wrong
Correct.
slides. Okay, gotcha.
Correct.
And
And
then you'll
so,
hyperlink the slides, the right or wrong answer slides to an
yeah,
element on that page so that when the student clicks it or the teacher clicks it, it jumps to you got it right or you got it wrong.
correct.
I'm with you. Okay.
Well
And you
done.
set them as backgrounds. You saved them as an image and set them as a background so that if they clicked somewhere they weren't supposed to, it wouldn't progress to the next slide.
Actually, they cannot be a background. It has to be
Oh,
detached and you have to make it big enough. So then you can link it so it doesn't go anywhere.
gotcha. Okay.
Right? So again, I would make these as backgrounds as well, export it out, and then re-import because the problem is the the letters will make the arrow and you don't want the arrow. Does that make sense? So it's a lot of like backwards and it's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
Um yeah, uh so I have my element and then I'm going to be back button. Okay. I don't know what that is.
That's nice.
back back button. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so if they hit back and then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to take this element and we're going to move it, and so they can go back to the previous question. If they go here, then we could say next question, next button. We'll do that. Okay. What would I do? I would take this, I would take the well done actually, and I'll take the, I'm gonna redo that. So what I would do is I would take the well done and the back and I would export it out. I'm just gonna do the whole thing again. And then I will, yeah, it gets a lot of like, it's a lot of backwards and forwards. So if you can obviously if you can plan it, it'd be great. Oops. Extract. So again, I'm going to go back to my projects, to my Abacus plate, and I'm going to upload because I want to try to keep organized. So go up there, go here, take a look, and then these are the two that I want to upload. So I'm going to go back and delete this. So what I can do is go here, and then I have to position it so it's the whole thing again. Because yeah, and then my new one. Well done. Okay. Oops. Okay. So so now if this is 13. So if I go here and I create 13, what's before 12 and then 14. Oops. I'm going to take this is my question. So what it is I'm going to have the students click on the abacus. That is the correct one. So here it says select the, oh, there's my K. So it says
It's-
here, it says select the abacus number that comes before the number that's on my plate. So what I want them to do is, this is the number 13. What I want them to do is I want them to go to the abacus 12, which is this one here in the red, right? So I am going to do that. So they can choose the three of the three. But now the problem is it's got to go somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link this to the number, to the well done, because that's the correct answer. This one links to the try again because that's the incorrect answer. And then this one is also the incorrect answer. So I have to go back and I have to link it to the incorrect answer. So that makes sense. This gets linked to itself, so then it stays
Ah,
within itself. So now when you present it, now when it's presented, you'll notice that it's still that finger, it's not that arrow. So when I go here, it goes try again. See, there's that arrow because I didn't link it. So I got to go back, and here I want to link it back to the question. And then this goes to the new question. So I'm going to link this to the new question, which is this one, right? So when I present it, I am not going to do it because I want the kids to do it. So I'm just going to give them the link, just like I gave you guys the link. So here it goes to my next question, which is 13. But notice there's my arrow because I didn't do it. So if I go, oh, right. Um, so going back to, so this is like like the not watered down version, but this is the bare minimum what I would do to continue on forward. So now this is question one. Select the abacus that comes to the number before that's on the plate, right? So this is 13. I want to go to 12. So that's how it goes. Try again and you go back. Oh, and well done. So yeah, does that make sense? And then when you get a bunch of these, you have to have a bunch of these, and then it goes back and forth, right? So it goes like that. Does that make sense? So when I look at my layout, it looks like this. As I build, I'll do it in sequence order when I'm no longer in sequence order, I'll put all of the well dones, I'll put all the well dones in the back because I don't want the kids to go anywhere. Does that make sense? So it's a lot of
Mhm.
organizing and try to like maneuver. They're going to figure it out because if you look, I don't know, you'll get the navigation at the bottom and then they can go forward. But the idea is to get away from that. I mean, it's as much as you can do. But yeah, that's, I guess it didn't take as long as I thought.
Yeah, this is a great game. Yeah, great way to build a game
This
for
is so cool.
students.
I'm